Now the next topic is we are going to see the contours. Before that contours, we'll try to understand what is rectifiable arcs. Okay, we'll find out what is rectifiable arcs. So very important, rectifiable arcs. Now we'll consider the arc L, which is defined by z is equal to z of t is equal to x of t plus I y of t. Okay, y of t, where t is greater than or equal to a, less than or equal to b. So t is defined in the form of like this, and we'll take a partition. P is nothing but equal to we'll take a partition in this manner: T0, T1, T2, and so on Tn. This is a partition. Be any partition of A comma B. So in between this A comma B, these are the partitions what we have chosen. That partition is nothing but P. Now corresponding to this partition, dividing the arc L. Now we are going to divide this arc L into sub arcs. We are going to divide the arc L into the sub arcs. That is LK is equal to arc JK minus 1 to JK, where K is nothing but equal to 1, 2 and so on up to N. Okay, and JK is nothing but equal to J of TK, where K is nothing but equal to 0, 1, 2 and so on N. Okay, so joining of these arcs, like you can say Z0, Z1, Z2 and so on Zn, will get a straight lines. All will join these all lines, so that we'll get a straight lines. We are able to get all the lines as a straight lines with the polygonal curve. Like this we are going to get. Let us take this one as in the form of like this. Okay, in the form of like this. Now this is what? Now this is Z0. I may write here Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4, Z5, and here some Zn. So you will be getting as a polygonal arc like this. We are going to join. Okay, like this we will get all the lines, so that we will get the the arc. You may get this as like this. You may get the point like this. All the polygonal arc. Okay, like this. All will have a different the polygonal arc. Now this from here to here a straight line, from here to here a straight line, from here to here a straight line, from here to here a straight line. Okay, straight line. From here to here a straight line. We will get a straight line like this. It may be in the form of this is the point where you will get a straight line. Okay, like this you will get all straight lines. Now this is how you are going to get a polygonal arc. This is something like Z3. Now these are the points you are going to get an arc, the polygonal arc. In that you will get a arc here. This is the arc. We are going to join all those points of Z1, Z0, Z1, Z2, Z3, Z4 and so on Zn. Okay, so this L will be rectifiable. This is nothing but total L. It is being subdivided into sub straight lines, and this is rectifiable if the least upper bound, the least upper bound of the sum, the least upper bound of the sum. Now what that sum is? Z1 minus Z0 plus Z2, Z1 minus Z0, Z2 minus Z1 minus Zn plus and so on plus Zn minus Zn minus 1. Okay, Zn minus Zn minus 1 is finite. Is finite. If it is finite, okay, the sum taken over all partitions P is finite. Now these all are nothing but all partitions. If these are nothing but sum is taken over all partition is nothing but finite, then we can say that that is nothing but if is finite means if supremum or the sum or supremum, you take supremum of P summation k equal to 1 to n zk minus 1 is equal to L, which is less than some infinity. If this L is nothing but a finite, then I can say that it's a the real number. Thus the non-negative real number, the non-negative real number L is called the non-negative number is called the length of the arc L. So non-negative real number L, whichever the value you will get, that becomes a length of the arc L. Okay, and this arc L, the arc L is the is said to be non-rectifiable curve. Is said to be non-rectifiable curve. Okay, if sum is arbitrarily large, if the sum becomes arbitrary large for suitable chosen partitions. Okay, if the sum means this one, if the sum 1 becomes arbitrarily large for suitably chosen partitions. Okay, now this is nothing but called as a rectifiable arcs. Means the rectifiable arc is nothing but the joining of the points of Z1, Z2 in a polygonal curve, and the end point of Z1 is nothing but joined to the end point of another curve. If you combine with that, and this L may be taken as a rectifiable if we take the least upper bound of that, which is nothing but always finite. That L is nothing but called as a length of this arc, which is a non-rectifiable curve, and the sum is nothing but chosen large such that will be chosen at a particular the partition. Now these are all nothing but called as rectifiable arcs. Now from these rectifiable arcs, we'll able to deduce one concept called contour. We get another concept after this rectifiable curves. We have a contour. Now already we have chosen that. We have chosen in the form of like this. This is nothing but a rectifiable curve, that is Z0, Z1 and Z2 and the Z3 and so on, Zn, joining of the arcs like this, and you will be getting as this one Zn minus 1. This is nothing but rectifiable curve we have chosen. Now what is contour? Contour is also another important concept that we need to understand. A contour is a continuous chain of finite number of regular arcs. It's a continuous chain of finite number of regular arcs. Means from here to here it is joining, means the initial point of this one and the final point of this one. This final point becomes the initial point of the next arc. So it is being joined here like this, and the final point of this one is joined to the initial point of Z3 arc. So the finite number of arcs is nothing but a continuous chain of finite number of regular arcs. Regular arcs has been joined. If the starting point, if I suppose for example, if I take like this, now this is I have taken A and this is I have taken B. This is nothing but an arc. If it is being joined to the another arc, otherwise I may take in the form of like this, like you can take A and you can take something B like this. Now this becomes an arc, and one more arc if you take, that is nothing but C. It is being joined to another arc, the initial point like this. Then I can say that it becomes a contour. At the end of the other point, it becomes a contour. Or I may write in the form of like this, it is being joined together another arc B, like this A to B. If it is nothing but a join together, it's a initial one and it becomes a final one. The contour of this one can be taken as integral A to B of that and f of z dz. This is called as a contour. Means the initial point here is joined to the final point over here. It is being, means you are discussing about the arc which is nothing from A to B. Okay, or P to Q or PQ. So it's nothing but so there will be a finite number of arcs will be there here, like Z1, Z2, like this. You know, what you have here is, let us take this is A and this is nothing but B. You may have all finite number of arcs will be joined together. Okay, such that this arc is nothing but can taken as a contour. This region is nothing but taken as a contour. Contour means a finite number of regular arcs can be taken. There are many arcs will be there, like Z1 to Z2, Z0 to Z1, Z1 to Z2, like this. Many arcs will be there, but the initial one is A, the final one is B. It is being totally together will be taken as integral A to B f of z dz. This is called as a contour. When we talk about contour, means it is nothing but consisting continuous chains of finite number. It's a continuous chain of finite number of regular arcs. Starting point is A and the first arc, and the B will be the end of the last arc. Now this is the last arc. The B is nothing but end of the last arc. This is the end point of the last arc. So total together we are going to take it as AB f of z dz. We'll write as AB f of z dz. Or else we can take that integral over the contour C. We'll write as integral C f of z dz. This is also the same meaning. The integral C means it is being taken that all finite number of regular arcs from the starting from A to starting from B will be taken as nothing but C. And if it is not mentioned any of the direction, we'll take it as a anti-clockwise direction. That is nothing but a positive direction only, not the negative one. Okay, if and only if they mention the direction, otherwise if they don't mention the direction, we'll take it as a positive only. Anti-clockwise direction we are going to take. So this is how the contour of the regular arcs. Okay, so the boundaries, let us see one example. Let us take the boundaries of the triangle, boundaries of the rectangle, boundaries of the rectangle, boundaries of the square. These are nothing but called as a curves. This is called closed curves. These are nothing but closed curves. Closed contour, I can say closed contour. This is a closed contour. This is also closed contour. Okay, the closed contour means it is having the form of like this. These are the closed contours. Okay, so therefore the definition is given in the form of like this. A closed contour means a curve gamma is said to be piecewise smooth. Then if gamma is obtained by joining finite number of, it is joining finite number of smooth curves, finite number of smooth curves end to end. joining finite number of smooth curves end to end, a piecewise smooth arc is called a contour. Then we call as a contour. A piecewise smooth arc is nothing but called as a contour. Okay, this is what we have. Now there are, if gamma is simple, we wanted to say that gamma is simple closed contour. Now these are the closed contour. Now we are going to see whether when the gamma is said to be closed contour, if the first condition, gamma should be closed. If gamma is closed, we can say that gamma is a simply closed contour. Then second point, gamma is simple. One more is gamma is simple on A comma B. A and B are the two endpoints. And the third one is gamma is piecewise smooth. Gamma is piecewise smooth. Okay, and you have to note that gamma is simple if it is does not intersect or does not cross itself. Okay, if suppose for example like this, it is crossing itself, no. Okay, it's a closed curve, but it is not simple. It's a closed curve. It is closed but not simple. Simple means it should not cross, like this. It is a closed curve, A and the B, because it is not crossing like this. There is no crossing. Okay, so these are the contour. Contour means nothing but what we have chosen is, once again, contour is nothing but we'll take a curve which is nothing but having the starting point A, the end point is B, which is nothing but formed by joining the continuous. It is joined the chain with the finite number of regular arcs. Means from here, let us take this as Z0, Z1, Z1, Z2, and so on. The finite number of smooth curves has been joined together. Okay, Zn minus 1. This is Zn. So this type of the curve you are going to take, that's called contour. Okay, this is called as a contour. If direction is not maintained, you have to take an anti-clockwise direction. It's always positive. It's nothing but you have to take a positive. Now you need to go for the anti-clockwise direction. Like this, you have to go if it is direction is not mentioned. They may represent in another way also like this. Now this is nothing but a curve. Now if they mention, suppose for example this is the integral. I have mentioned that integral AB f of z dz means it's a contour. If I write like this, by mentioning that arc like this, it is nothing but called as an anti-clockwise direction. It's a positive. So you have to remember this definition of contour. There is another definition, another topic is that's called Jordan curves. The another one is called as a Jordan curves. Now how the Jordan curve? If Jordan curve, that is nothing but Jordan curves. What are the Jordan curves? If gamma is a simple closed contour, you should understand simple closed contour means it is not crossing like this. It is a simple closed contour. Contour positively oriented means anti-clockwise direction. Positively oriented. It is a positively oriented. Then gamma divides the whole plane. Divides the whole complex plane. It divides the whole complex plane into three disjoint sets. It's going to divide into three disjoint sets. One is the point that lie inside, one is the point lie outside, one is the point that lie on the line itself only. The first point, the set of points that lie inside gamma. That's the first point. Then the set of points that lie outside gamma. Then last one, the set of points that lie on gamma. These are the three regions which are going to take it as a Jordan curves. Okay, the points which lie inside, the points which lie outside, the point which lie on the gamma itself only. Inside gamma means the region that lie inside to the left. Means like this, if it is nothing but this is a closed region, this is a closed curve. So that lie inside means towards the left we are going to take. Okay, and the left or right of the orientation, you can take left or right of the orientation such that it may lie inside, and the outside means any of the outside of the points which is nothing but lying outside. Inside the points is nothing but you may take the inside itself only, and the points which lie on the points is other. These are the points which may lie on the curve gamma. These are the Jordan curves. Okay, so based on this we have one more the theorem is there, that is nothing but on the contour integrals. Now we are going to see contour integrals. Okay, in this we have one theorem. We'll prove that theorem, very simple theorem. Suppose C is a contour with z is equal to z of t. C is a contour with z is equal to z of t, where t is nothing but equal to a comma b. T belongs to a comma b. Let f of z be a complex function. F of z be a complex function which is piecewise continuous on C. Then we define the contour integral. Integral C f of z dz. This is called contour integral by integral C f of z dz is nothing but equal to integral C. C means you understand it is nothing but A to B, and the starting point is A, end point is B. So that's A to B f of z of t into z dash of t dt. Now this is the formula, so that we can able to find out the any problem which is given in the form of like this. Okay, now this is the theorem that when C is a contour with z is equal to z of t and t is nothing but equal to a comma b, and f of z is a complex function which is a smooth which is a piecewise continuous on C, means it's a contour which is joining the all the finite regular arcs such that we'll get a curve. Okay, and okay, then we define the contour, means that the curve, the C f of z dz is nothing but in the form of integral A to b f of z of t z dash of t dt. Now we'll prove this one in the form of like this. Now we'll try to prove this because it's very important. If the problem is given in the form of like this, then you can easily solve. Okay, now we'll take f of z is equal to u of x comma y plus iv of x comma y. Iv of x comma y is nothing but simply we'll take it as like this, and we'll try to prove. Now this is f of z of t. Now f of z of t, what is f of z of t? Now we'll write as u of x comma t y of t plus I v of x of t comma y of t. Now this is f of z of t. Now what is z of t? Z of t is equal to x of t plus I into y of t. Now this is z of t. What is z dash of t? Z dash of t is equal to x dash of t plus I into y dash of t. As you know already, z dash of t is like this. Now we'll try to find out f of z of t into z dash of t is equal to, what is f of z of t? That is u of x of t comma y of t plus I into v of x of t comma y of t into x dash of t plus I into y dash of t. Simply I am just multiplying the both the things here. So what is that now? So I may write this as, if I write u means u contains, u is a function of x comma t, y of t. So I am multiplying u with this. So you will be getting u of x comma x dash of t, again u of plus I into u of y dash of t. You should understand u means, u is a function of x of t and y of t. I am not writing x of t again here. Okay, then I will multiply with this. This is I into v of x dash of t. Okay, I into I square. I into I is nothing but I square. I square is nothing but minus 1. So minus v into y dash of t. Okay, so u of x dash of t and the y dash of t. So this is u of x dash of t minus v of y dash of t taken together, and minus in plus I into u of y dash of t plus v of x dash of t. Just have taken like this, f of z of t into z dash of t, we got in the form of like this. Okay, this is how we got. Now what we are going to take here is, yes, we'll try to take this one in the form of like this. Okay, now this is I'll take in the form of like u of or u1 of t. This is u1 of t plus I v1 of t. Let us say we'll take it as, this entire thing is nothing but the real part u1 of t, and this entire thing is nothing but imaginary part v1 of t. Let us take together that side. Then we'll try to take w of t. What is w of t? Okay, w of t is equal to, we'll try to find out w of t. That is nothing but f of z of t into z dash of t. Z dash of t is equal to u1 of t plus I into v1 of t. u1 of t plus I into v1 of t. Okay, w of t is nothing but equal to, okay, I may write as u1 of t plus I into v1 of t, where t belongs to a comma b. Okay, now integral over c, I am writing it as f of z into dz is equal to integral over a to b. I am writing as w of t dt is equal to, I may write this as integral over a to b. This one is what? u1 of t plus I into v1 of t into dt. Okay, this is how we got dt. We have taken integral over a to b w of t dt. This is nothing but entirely w of t. So with respect, that is nothing but we have taken the form of like this. Now what we'll do is, we'll shuffle this one. This is integral a to b u1 of t dt plus I into integral a to b some v1 of t dt. This we got. Okay, so therefore which is well defined. What we can say that it is nothing but well defined. Integral f of z dz may be taken as integral a to b u1 of t dt plus I into v1 of t dt, because f of z is nothing but u1 of t capital. F of z is nothing but what we have taken u1 of t plus I v1 of t, this whole thing. So which is well defined. So therefore what we can say, integral over c f of z dz can be taken as integral a to b f of z of t into z dash of t dt. This is how we can make use of the thing so that we can able to do the problem. So let us do one problem so that you'll understand how to use this one. It's very simple. If you do one problem, we can understand very easily. One problem will do. Example, how to use this one. Let C that is z is equal to z of t, that is nothing but 2t plus I, where t belongs to 0 comma 1. Okay, now we wanted to prove f1 of z is equal to x. Now we'll try to prove this one. Now what is that now? Now solution, integral f1 of z, integral c f1 of z dz is equal to, c means this contour region. So that is equal to integral, c is nothing but what? T is nothing but 0 to 1. So integral 0 to 1 f of z of t into z dash of t dt. Now we'll try to find out what is z dash of t. Now z dash of t is nothing but this. So z of t is equal to 2t plus I. Okay, what is z dash of t? Z dash of t is nothing but 2. This is the value of z dash of t. F of z of t. F of z of t is nothing but you will take it as in the place of x, you will take it as t. Z of t is nothing but, that is nothing but z dash of t is 2. Z of t is nothing but this one, z of t. Okay, f1 of z of t. Now we'll try to find out now this one. This is so this is equal to integral over 0 to 1. The formula is nothing but this. This is f1, so f1. Okay, so therefore what is that now? So this is what? This is nothing but, I may write from here, f1 of z of t is nothing but here 2t, because z of t means x of t plus I y of t. Here this is only x is given, means x of t. I may write here as x of t. What is x of t here? X of t is nothing but 2t. Okay, f1 of z of t is nothing but x of t. X of t is nothing but 2t. So I may write here as 2t into z dash of t. Z dash of t is t, that is nothing but 2 into dt. Now you make it as 4 into integral 0 to 1. This is t square dt. This is 4 into, this is t cube by 3 under 0 to 1. You make it as 4 by 3. Answer is nothing but 4 by 3 you got. Okay, is it right? T square, sorry, this is t. So t means this is t square by 2. So this is t square by 2 means again 4 by 2, that is nothing but 2. Now one more problem we'll do in the same manner with the same curve, so that you will get you'll understand more. Now what is that now? f2 of z is equal to y. Okay, solution, integral over c f2 of z dz is equal to integral over 0 to 1 f2 of z of t and z dash of t dt. Okay, what is f2 of z dash of t? This is nothing but what is given, f2 of z dash of t is nothing but equal to y of t. But what is y of t? Y of t is nothing but I. What you got y of t as I, because I can say that one I'll write because here this is x of t plus I into y of t. If you compare, x of t is nothing but 2t, y of t is nothing but, the coefficient of I is nothing but 1. Z dash of t you know already, it is nothing but 2. So therefore what is that now? Integral 0 to 1 f2 of z of t, that is 1 into z dash of t, that is 2 into dt. This is nothing but 2 integral 0 to 1 dt. This is 2 into t 0 to 1. This is 2 into 1 minus 0, that is nothing but 2. So like this many problems we can make use of the formula, so that we can able to understand. The formula is integral c f of z dz is nothing but equal to integral a to b f of z of t into z dash of t dt. This is only the formula we are able to use to get the value of given any of the curve. Okay, I hope that you understood the problems. Thank you.